Are some girls truly who they claim to be? We're about to find out in the story of Rebecca. Rebecca was the girl everyone admired, the one with the bright smile, the soft voice, the kind heart, the perfect pastor's daughter. At just 19, she was everything a church girl should be: modest, obedient, and dedicated to God. Every Sunday, she led worship with a voice that made people cry. She never missed morning devotion. She never questioned the rules. To the world, Rebecca was flawless. But inside, she felt trapped. She was tired of rules she didn't create. Tired of being the pastor's daughter who had to live up to expectations. Tired of pretending she didn't notice how different the world outside was: louder, freer, more exciting. At school, the other girls whispered about weekend parties, VIP clubs, and rich men who spoiled them with gifts. They wore makeup, dressed in designer outfits, and lived without worrying about a congregation's judgment. Rebecca sat quietly, listening, never joining. But curiosity? Curiosity is a dangerous thing. And then came Jessica. Jessica was everything Rebecca had been warned about: stunning, confident, and effortlessly glamorous. She smelled of expensive perfume, walked like she owned the world, and always had a new phone, a new handbag, and new stories about wealthy men who adored her. And Rebecca couldn't look away. Jessica didn't follow rules. She was the kind of girl Rebecca had been warned about: beautiful, confident, untamed. One afternoon, she slid into the seat beside Rebecca in the cafeteria, her manicured fingers lazily stirring her juice. "You're always so quiet, church girl," she mused, a knowing smile tugging at her lips. Rebecca offered a small, polite smile. "I just don't talk much." Jessica studied her for a moment, then leaned in slightly, her voice dropping. "But you listen." A pause. Then, with a smirk, "And I know you wonder what it's like." Rebecca's shoulders tensed. "What do you mean?" Jessica tilted her head, eyes gleaming with amusement. "The life. The fun. The freedom. No rules. No expectations. No one watching your every move, waiting for you to be perfect." Rebecca opened her mouth to protest, but found no words. Jessica chuckled softly. "Relax, I'm not here to convert you." She tapped her straw against the cup. "I just think you'd be dangerous if you ever stopped pretending." Rebecca swallowed hard. Jessica had no idea how right she was. The first lie was small. Her father had told her to go straight home after choir practice. Instead, she went to Jessica's house. Just for an hour, she told herself. Just to see. Jessica's house was nothing like Rebecca's strict home. No Bible verses framed the walls. No curfew loomed over her. No hushed prayers echoed in the evening air. Instead, music pulsed through the rooms, shaking the walls. The scent of expensive perfume clung to the air. Girls lounged on velvet couches, their laughter mixing with the glow of ring lights as they filmed TikTok videos. Jessica tossed her a dress, short, tight, unlike anything Rebecca had ever worn. "Try it on," she urged. "No one will know." Rebecca hesitated, fingers brushing the fabric. Then, slowly, she slipped it on. In the mirror, a stranger stared back. Not the pastor's daughter. Not the quiet, obedient girl. Someone else. Someone dangerous. And for the first time, Rebecca wondered if she had been living the wrong life all along. The first time she sneaked out, it was too easy. Her parents were at a church vigil. Her younger siblings fast asleep. Jessica's text flashed on her screen. "Are you ready?" Rebecca changed into the dress, her fingers steady as she applied her makeup, mimicking what she had seen Jessica do. When she looked at herself in the mirror, she didn't recognize the girl staring back. Excitement hummed beneath her skin as she stepped outside, heart hammering. She slid into the back seat of a waiting taxi. At the club, the music was deafening, the lights blinding, the air thick with perfume, sweat, and something else she couldn't name. Girls moved with careless grace. Men watched them like trophies waiting to be claimed. Jessica leaned in, whispering, "Welcome to the real world, church girl." Rebecca took a breath, then stepped forward. She had no idea she had just walked into the most dangerous part of her life. She should have been afraid. She should have gone home after that first night. But she didn't. Instead, she craved more. The way people looked at her in that dress. The thrill of breaking rules. The freedom in Jessica's laughter, reckless and untamed. That night had unlocked something inside her. Something wild. Something dangerous. And it was only the beginning. The first lie had been small. The second? Effortless. "I'm sleeping at Grace's house for a Bible study," Rebecca told her father. Pastor James beamed with pride. "That's my girl." For a brief moment, guilt tightened in her chest. Then she heard Jessica's car horn outside, calling her into the night. And just like that, the guilt disappeared. This wasn't just a club night. It was an exclusive rooftop party. And this time, Rebecca didn't hesitate. The rooftop glittered like something out of a dream. Velvet couches. Champagne glasses. Laughter spilling into the night air. Girls draped in designer dresses, sipping drinks worth more than Rebecca's monthly allowance. Men in tailored suits, their watches gleaming under the city lights. Rebecca felt different here. She felt powerful. Jessica nudged her toward a man. "Rebecca, meet David." He was older, maybe 35. His suit sharp. His smile sharp. His eyes scanned her, slow and deliberate. "You're new," he murmured. Rebecca nodded, suddenly self-conscious. David chuckled. "Don't be nervous, church girl. You're in good hands." Her breath caught. How did he know?
Jessica laughed, draping an arm around Rebecca's shoulders. "She's special, David. Be nice." David smirked. "Oh, I'll be very nice." Rebecca didn't know it then, but that night, she made a deal with the devil. David was different from the boys at school. He was a man. He sent her gifts, perfumes, designer shoes, the latest phone. "You deserve nice things," he told her. And for the first time in her life, Rebecca felt wanted. But gifts always come with a price. One night, David picked her up in his car, a sleek black Mercedes that smelled of leather and danger. "You're beautiful," he murmured, brushing a strand of hair from her face. Rebecca's heart pounded. Then he leaned in. And she realized this was the price. Her breath caught. She had liked the gifts. The attention. The thrill. But this? Was she ready for this? David's fingers traced her jaw, waiting for an answer. In that moment, Rebecca had to decide, was she still the pastor's daughter? Or was she someone else now? She chose. And it was the wrong choice. Rebecca woke up the next morning feeling different. Something inside her had changed. She looked at herself in the mirror, searching for the church girl she had once been. But all she saw was a stranger with expensive perfume on her skin and secrets in her eyes. The worst part? She didn't regret it. That was the first warning sign. The second warning came later that week. She was sitting in class when her phone buzzed. A message from David. "David, come outside. Now." Her heart pounded. She slipped out of class and found his car parked across the street. The moment she slid into the seat, she knew something was wrong. David's face was different. Darker. Less charming. "You haven't been answering my calls," he said, his voice too calm. Rebecca swallowed. I was busy." His jaw tightened. "Don't play games with me." The air in the car grew thick. Rebecca's stomach twisted. This was the moment she realized she was in too deep. And she didn't know how to get out. The lies had multiplied. Rebecca wasn't just sneaking out anymore, she was living a full double life. By day, she was still Pastor James' daughter. The perfect church girl. By night, she was something else. But lies can't last forever. And soon, someone was going to find out. Rebecca's secret is getting harder to hide. Someone close to her begins to suspect the truth. The church world and the nightlife world begin to collide. And one mistake will lead to a disaster she never saw coming. Sunday morning came faster than Rebecca wanted. She barely got any sleep the night before. David was becoming possessive. He called her 10 times, and when she didn't answer, he sent a chilling text. "You think you can ignore me? I made you who you are now. You owe me." Rebecca had stared at the message for a long time, a strange fear creeping up her spine. But today, she had to be the pastor's daughter again. She rubbed concealer over the faint mark on her wrist. David had gripped her too hard when she tried to leave the club. "It's fine. No one will notice." Or so she thought. Because as she sat in the front row at church, bowing her head in prayer, she felt a pair of sharp eyes watching her. Her mother. And her mother noticed everything. After service, Rebecca tried to rush past her parents and escape to her room. But her mother, Mrs. Evelyn Adams, stopped her with one look. "Rebecca." Rebecca's stomach twisted. "Yes, Mom?" Mrs. Adams studied her closely. "You've been distant," she said. And she reached out, gently touching the concealer-covered mark on Rebecca's wrist. "What happened here?" Rebecca's breath caught. "Nothing, Mom. I burned myself while ironing my dress." Her mother frowned. "I don't remember you using the iron lately." Rebecca's hands started sweating. I used Grace's. I slept over at her house." Mrs. Adams' eyes darkened. Something about her stare made Rebecca's stomach flip. She knew. Maybe not everything, but enough. Her mother sighed. "Come and help me in the kitchen." Rebecca hesitated. "Mom, I have." "Now, Rebecca." There was no arguing. The kitchen smelled of fresh spices and fried plantains. Rebecca stood beside her mother, cutting onions, trying to act normal. "Tell me the truth, Rebecca," her mother said suddenly. Rebecca's knife stopped mid-cut. Her chest tightened. "What do you mean?" Her mother's voice was gentle but firm. "You're lying to me. I can feel it." Rebecca forced a laugh. "Mom, you're overthinking." Mrs. Adams wiped her hands on her apron and turned to face her. "I was young once too." Rebecca swallowed hard. "There's a certain glow when a girl is in love," her mother continued, "but there's also a certain darkness when a girl is in trouble." Rebecca felt her throat close up. "I don't know what you're doing, Rebecca, but be careful," her mother said softly. "The devil always gives gifts with one hand and takes something greater with the other." The words hit harder than Rebecca expected. She thought about David. The gifts. The nights out. The danger creeping closer every day. Was she already losing more than she gained? Her mother touched her hand gently. "You can tell me anything, my child." Rebecca wanted to. For a moment, she almost broke down and told her everything. But then, her phone vibrated in her pocket. A message. "David, come outside. Now." Rebecca's stomach flipped. She pulled her hand away from her mother and forced a smile. "I need to go study, Mom." She rushed out of the kitchen before her mother could stop her. She didn't see the worried tears forming in her mother's eyes. Rebecca slipped out of the house and found David parked near the corner. The moment she got in, she knew something was wrong. David wasn't smiling. His jaw was tight, his fingers gripping the steering wheel. "You're avoiding me," he said coldly. Rebecca shook her head quickly. "No, I was just busy." David exhaled sharply, then suddenly grabbed her chin, forcing her to look at him. "Don't lie to me, Rebecca," he said. Fear shot through her. She had never seen him like this before. The charming, competent David was gone. This David was dangerous. Rebecca swallowed hard. I'm sorry." David's grip loosened, and he sighed. "Good girl." Then he reached into his pocket and handed her something small. A gold bracelet. Expensive. Beautiful. Rebecca hesitated. "It's a gift," David said, forcing a smile. "To remind you who you belong to." Rebecca's skin crawled at the word belong. But she nodded and put it on. And in that moment, she realized she wasn't free anymore. Rebecca tried to act normal at school. But someone was watching her. Her best friend, Grace. One afternoon, Grace pulled her aside. "Rebecca, we need to talk." Rebecca forced a smile. "What about?" Grace crossed her arms. You're acting different." Rebecca felt her pulse quicken. "You disappear. You lie about where you are." And Grace's voice dropped. "You smell like alcohol sometimes." Rebecca's stomach twisted. Grace's voice softened. "What's going on? Are you in trouble?" Rebecca laughed nervously. "No. Everything's fine." But Grace didn't look convinced. "You know I love you, right?" Grace said. Rebecca nodded quickly. "Of course." "Then tell me the truth." Rebecca hesitated. Then she shook her head. "There's nothing to tell." Grace sighed, her eyes sad. "Fine. If you won't tell me, I'll find out myself." Rebecca's heart stopped. "What do you mean?" she whispered. Grace looked her dead in the eye. "I followed you last night, Rebecca." Rebecca's double life starts to collapse. David's true nature is revealed. And a single mistake will push Rebecca into the most dangerous moment of her life. Rebecca's heart stopped. "I followed you last night, Rebecca." Grace's words hung in the air, heavy and sharp. Rebecca's body went cold. What do you mean?" she whispered. Grace's eyes burned with disappointment. "I saw you, Rebecca. At the club. Dressed like," Grace hesitated, shaking her head. "That wasn't you. That wasn't the girl I grew up with." Rebecca swallowed hard. Her hands were shaking. This couldn't be happening. If Grace knew, who else did? "You don't understand," Rebecca said, forcing a laugh. "It's not what you think." Grace crossed her arms. "Then explain." Rebecca opened her mouth. No words came out. Because the truth was too ugly. Too dangerous. Grace's eyes softened. "Rebecca, talk to me. Is someone forcing you? Is it that guy?" Rebecca's throat closed up. "David." She thought of his grip on her wrist. His cold stare. The way he controlled her every move. But she couldn't tell Grace that. If David found out. Rebecca forced another laugh. "I'm fine, Grace. Really. I needed money. That's all." Grace's expression broke. "You don't need money that badly." Rebecca looked away. "You don't understand." Grace grabbed her hand. "Then make me understand." Rebecca pulled away. "We're done talking." She turned and walked away. But with every step, her heart pounded harder. She had lost her best friend. And she had no idea how much worse things were about to get. Rebecca's story is far from over. The choices she made, the pain she endured, and the betrayal she suffered, are they truly behind her? Or is the past just waiting for the right moment to strike again? Life has a way of bringing back the things we try to escape. But when it does, will we be ready? Will Rebecca be ready? Ask yourself. Can you ever fully outrun your past, or does it always find a way back? Should pain be forgotten, or does it serve as a lesson for the future? If you were in Rebecca's shoes, what would you do next? Stay tuned for part 2, because the storm is far from over. And when it comes, not everyone will make it out unscathed.